finish up, right? I'm like, we'll just use the other phone, but I'm going to be quickly because I must go. So listen here, 2019, for those that are watch the other video and that are coming in, I'm Nakia Fox from Nakia Fox and Company, where we help amazing men and women transform from the inside out. But 2019 is the year of divine expansion on another level. So get ready. That's going to be the year that it's going to be a sudden shift into your next level that even you could not have worked to get there. That's why you need to make sure in this time you're preparing mentally. Get some quiet time to yourself. Make sure you have your game plans for your first, second, third, and fourth quarter of next year. You need to already be into the following year. You need to already be preparing and speaking what you know you want to have and positioning yourself to have it. That's right. You need to position yourself to have exactly what you say you want in this life. And that's why when I created, I want to come on over. That's why when I created, hold on, let's go on. When I created, the transformation journal, this journal right here is changing so many lives. When I created this transformation journal, this was the steps that I took to really get clear on who I am, what do I want, what do I value, how can I map all this out, because most times when we're going through our journey of life, you accept a lot of things that's below what God has for you because you're not sure on what you want, how to get it. You have not followed through with the proper steps to be able to achieve it, and to also be able to know, okay, without life happens at different given times, so how can I stay the course? And that's why we created the 2019 weekly planner that goes in conjunction with the actual journal. So we have the planner and we have the journal to be able to go hand in hand. And let me let you guys look at both of those. Here we go. There we go. So you have the weekly planner, which is going to allow you to be able to go week by week. Once you figure out first this one right here, what's my game plan? Who am I? What do I value? What do I want? What are my triggers? What's self-care to me? What makes me happy? Those are all things that you want to know without a shadow of a doubt. And this right here is where you get clear on your thing and your day-to-day and your powerful scriptures to be able to transform your mind. Then we go over here, once you've gotten, because this breaks down your yearly goals. It breaks down from first, second, and third, and fourth quarter. Then you go over here to your weekly planner based on what you've gotten so clear and concrete with over here. It connects with, see, this is the engineer in me, because we have to have specific steps to take and make it so clear till it's error proof, right? So you go ahead and then you have your weekly journal right here that also has powerful scriptures in there that also is going to map out your day-to-day, week and week, so you know exactly what to work on per month, you know what to be able to execute, you know all of that. It's already aligned for you. So I try to provide tools to be able to help my clients be able to effectively move forward in their life, because that's what it's all about. Not being confused, knowing how to effectively move forward without being wavering and maybe I should or should not. No, if you know what aligns up with your destiny and your purpose and what God has showed you, you should have a clear path on what it takes to get it. Because it's one thing to want it, but do you know what it requires to achieve it, to actually have it? So many people see the multiple different projects that I work on simultaneously at the same time, but this is how I get it done. We got to go back to the old school ways when you had to have a journal and you had to, not a journal, but a planner, and you had to be able to write it down what you did per day. That's the only way to stay on track, because life happens, right? So if you all are in the now ready to maximize your 2019, I have so many tools available for you to be able to execute your life for what it's meant to be, to turn your pain into profit, to go from worrying to winning, to really just maximize the gifts that God has given you, to be able to take that and create generational wealth with all of those. He's allowed you to get the maximization of every gift. That, are you willing to stay on first base? Are you really knock out a home run? That depends on the life that you want to live. You want to stay on first base? or you want to knock out a home run. Let's max this thing out so the Lord can tell us, good job, job well done, my child. He wants to tell you, job well done, right? When we see the Lord, we don't want to be the one that hid the treasures. And when God say, well, what did you do with your gifts? And you say, well, Lord, I was keeping it for you. You know, I was going to do this with X, Y, and Z. Hold on one second. I thought about doing this, and that, but I don't know. I don't know if I had time to. When he says, I've given you every single thing that you need already in you, the Lord says he's already given it to you. He's already given it to you. So listen here. I'm here for you. Let us all max out and expand to the capacity so that we can create a new trajectory of generations to come, so that their norm will be on another level, so that the kingdom can advance on another level. That's the whole point. Is iron sharpens iron. We can learn from each other, right? So you guys, God bless you. I'm about to head on out, but when I tell you, it's going to be major, I don't want you to think this thing is going to be minimum. What he's about to do, because I know you feel it in your spirit, it is not regular at all. So get in position. Get so clear. The days of talking about it is completely over. Get so clear on what God has told you to do, and make your plan so plain so that you can have it step by step. Just like you know what to do when you go in and clock in on a job, you should know step by step what you need to do when you clock in per week to your life, so that the next year you can say, what I wanted to do, X, Y, and Z, I have accomplished it. That's how this thing goes. Every year you should be moving forward in your life. We should not be having the same conversations we having for 5 and 10 years ago, instead of talking about woulda, coulda, shouldas. That's not necessary, because we have every tool that we need on this earth to maximize our lives. Whatever you want, it's attainable. Every single thing is attainable. And surround yourself by individuals that while you're going through stretching seasons, they can speak some life into you and tell you, not when it looks like it's failing, oh, it's maybe that's not for you. No, it's for me. That's why I'm dealing with a little bit of misalignment, because it's trying to make me get to the point that what? I know I want this without a shadow of a doubt. You got to get to that point. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want this life? I know I prayed since a child, Lord Jesus, please allow me to be able to live this life of what it's really designed to be lived at, on that level. And that requires a level of situations that are going to come at you that you have to learn how to overcome. And based on, once again, I go back to the engineering background. That's why I can pull so many things and think at the same time. That allows me to be able to get to the root of a thing. And that's one of my strong points with my coaching clients. Let's get to the root. Let's get to the cycle that you're continuously repeating. Let's get back to that very point that's trying to sabotage your journey. Let's really get, down and deep to the very thing it's trying to, contradict what the Lord has said for your life. Let's get to the finite things that are holding you up. Let's get to it. It's not about being nice. No, let's get to it so you can move forward, because guess what? Your kids are watching you. Your nieces and nephews are watching you. Your family is watching you. Even though they might not say, they are watching you. Remember, and for those that have been chosen to be the generational change in their family, listen here, they are watching you. Your actions matter. And get ready, because the generation that is here now, those little babies, they're geniuses. So they need you to take it to the next level so that their norm will be on another level, right? You determine their norm. So God bless you all. I have nieces and nephews, and I want to be able to just be just one of the examples for them to be. They don't have to be wishing and guessing. No, let's figure out how to get you what you say you want. Early. Let's figure out what your gifts are early. Let's figure out what you're good at early, so we can really start to expand on that right now. That's how life goes. The earlier you figure out who you are, the better off you will be. That's how it goes. The earlier you connect with your destiny, the better it will be. The quicker you learn your lessons, the better it will be. The more you move towards your destiny, the quicker it will be, instead of just staying stagnant for years. And I can remember being there. I remember being a salon owner, and I was making amazing money, and I was working, but I was working like a slave. I mean, in order for me to make that money, I had to be doing 10, 15 people per day. And I couldn't enjoy the money. Yeah, I owned a home, but I was barely home. Yeah, I had to clean the lady, but I couldn't enjoy any of the things that was required. That type of work, that's what gave me the insight. Well, I cannot work like this forever. Like, when you get to a certain point in your career, you find out, am I going to continue this for the next 20 or 30 years? Can I continue this for the next 20 or 30 years? Because your body is only designed for a certain amount of, consistently. Am I willing to do that maxing out and that wear and tear on my body and missing family functions and not feeling like I'm appreciated? And yeah, I got the money, but I'm not enjoying where I feel and feeling like how I feel my life should be going. It was not for being fulfilled anymore because I had not gotten to my next level, and that required me to go into a lot of personal development. It gets to a point in your career where you have reached the top of what you're supposed to reach in that area, and now you're getting frustrated because God is saying, I have more for you. And if you stay in that area, it will take you to a level of depression or irritability, because now it's time for you to shift to your next level. And so many are on they're at the top of where they can go in their career, and what you finna finish doing that for 20 or 30 more years when you are tired? It's not working. God has more for you, so he's trying to get you to be open-minded to learning new things and knowing that it's all going to work together, right? I remember when I left out of construction in 2006. Thank God I had a backup plan. Thank God I was in the hair industry. I had been a licensed stylist since high school and had been doing it part-time since high school. Thank God I had the ability to be able to maneuver, because one thing my dad always taught me is it's best for you to have plan A, B's, and C's. And the way you want to live, they need to be in conjunction with allowing you to stay living at that level. Some people lose their job, and let's just give a ball figure. They make $20,000 a year. If you have no other alternative skills that can keep you making $20,000 a year, you getting unemployment making $12,000 a year is not going to help you at all. You see what I'm saying? And guess what? What happens when you get to making 70 to 100 and 150 to 200,000 a year? You losing that job and not having a backup plan to help you be able to maintain that type of living means what? You got to lose it all, right? And I'm talking from sheer experience, because I've told you all, I've lost it 3 times. It didn't show from the outside, thank God, because I'm a make it happen type of woman. But when I tell you, I learned powerful lessons to help others not have to deal with those same frustrations in life, so that they can maximize. That's why you see the moving to the next level can be seamless if you are willing to strategize for your life. Life is about strategy. It's not about, X, Y, and Z. Just like when most people are on their job, they don't understand that only 20% of your job is actually based on productivity. The rest is based on your people skills and if you know what your how to ride the wave and the ladder, how to get along and have, your teammates feel as though you are adding value to the company. That's the majority of your job. It has nothing to do with how good you are in your job. It's actually only 20% of what you actually do. The rest is only it's in the mind. It's how people perceive you. It's your personal growth part that is lacking in a lot of areas. Let's work on the internal aspect. That's why you hear me speak on the internal aspect. If you want to get to where God is trying to get you to, you will work on your internal personal growth element of it. Let's learn some emotional control in 2019. Don't let your emotions control your life. It controlled my life for years, and I got tired of responding on a dime because people was pulling my triggers every 5 minutes. They pulling my triggers. I'm either crying or mad as I don't know what. So I'm either about to get a DC number or I'm about to straight end it up. Just really taking me to the max. So if I allow the enemy to keep on pulling my triggers in that area, guess what's going to happen? If I don't master it, I am going to continuously put at risk my whole purpose and journey. I'm going to be jeopardizing every single time a situation comes up to test my emotional strength. I am going to be jeopardizing the outcome every single time. So I suggest me work on a lot of my internal aspects and flaws so that I can maximize my external response, which is that will no longer bother me anymore. I refuse to give that my energy. Like, I had to choose in 2016 to start learning how to make executive decisions in my life. And you know what executive decisions mean? It has nothing to do with emotions. It's just like when you're dealing with a situation, you have to use logic. Emotions will have you all, it's temporary and it's fickle. It'll have you all over the place. It'll have you destroying assignments because you all in your feelings. God can't use your feelings. He can use your effectiveness to get the assignment done. So what happens is, so many times you get distracted that you're actually is a bigger picture to whatever God is trying to show you, but you're getting stuck in your feelings. Normally they go hurt your feelings. Normally they're going to try you. But in order for me to get the big picture done, can I gain some emotional maturity so that I don't take all of this stuff personal? Who cares about somebody talking? I don't care. You know, that's why I can get along with literally almost anybody. I can care less about that's a small thing to a giant. When you look at it that way, that's small things to a giant. You're a giant, right? Somebody messing with your emotions, you should want to grow. And let's just also say that the areas in which you speak out loud that you want to grow on, expect to be tested by it. Soon as you put it out in the atmosphere that I am no longer doing X, Y, and Z, just expect to be tested on there, because there's no way for you to know you've grown if you're not tested, right? Or it's no way for you to know what you need to work on if it's not shown for you. And a lot of times before elevation and before your next level, God wants to make sure you don't do what? The enemy tries to sabotage your character. So before you go out to the masses and get all this, this level of expansion, he's going to send tests to be able to show you what you need to be working on, or what you have already grown out of that no longer bother you, that used to bother you. So expect the test. Pass them with prayer. Pass them with the Lord giving you a level of discernment to be able to see the big picture other than our emotions. Our emotions mean us no well if our assignment, the Lord was not liked. Normally when you're speaking truth, it's not always received. So just expect during your growth process of gaining capacity in your life, expect to be tested, because your level of emotional maturity is what's going to truly advance you. That's what matters. Are you really emotionally ready for what you say you want? Because remember, the higher you go up in leadership or in positions and titles and all that stuff, the more people are going to assume X, Y, and Z that you could not, you're not giving them that information. So the more they're going to assume different things about you that you must care nothing about. That's not your business. That's not my business how they see me. That's not my business how if they like me or love me. I must stay clear on that the Lord loves me and that I love and like myself. If you focus on loving and liking yourself, you can care less about the rest. So let's get this capacity growing. Let the Lord stretch us to the point that we can get ready for what all he has for us, especially in 2009. Listen here, you all. We have about 2 good years. Let's do what we need to do. Listen, it's going to move big on another level in 2019. I don't know if you feel it, but if you don't, get in your prayer closet and get in alignment. The Lord is about to blow our minds. So God bless you all. I pray for your mental strength during this season, because normally during the holidays, a lot of people are feeling some type of way. I remember I used to be all depressed around Christmas and Thanksgiving and all this stuff. And, because, I'm single. I would love to have a beautiful family and all these things that I know are to come. But in the meantime, I have to choose what I focus on. If I can't control it, why am I going to allow myself to continuously feel some type of way about it? That's called self-inflicted torture. If I can't control it, why am I allowing the enemy to put my mindset? Because whatever you show is an issue, he's going to feed off of it, right? And then you'll be all around his boo boo hoo 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 and feeling all the good holiday blues because you're choosing to allow yourself to go to a place that's not designed for you to go at. You choose what you focus on, and you can then choose your outcome. So remember, we got choices over here. We got choices. Listen here. year, just focus on the things you can control, and I guarantee you it'll be enough to deal with. So just focus on the things that you can control, and let's gain this capacity for all that God has for us. Remember, every season is not the same. And make sure you do all that you need to do in the current state and season that you're in. Don't be hoping to get in the next place that you might not be ready for it. Like I tell the Lord, whenever your time is, because Lord knows, I've been by myself a very long time. So I've had the privilege to deal with a lot of things that most people are too busy, or they have a lot of other responsibilities that I do not have. So I thank God for allowing me to have insight and to be able to have the time to sort through so many different things that others just have not had the opportunity to deal with. And that's why I try to come on, and I believe that's why I am the transformation engineer, in reference to let me help you throughout your transformation from whatever your vision is for your life. It's like when I have clients, I tell them, what's the vision of your, like, how do you look? The image that you have in your heart, how do you feel? How does that person smell? How does you need to almost touch that person that's in your head. It needs to be so real to you till you know exactly what she has, what she looks like. I know exactly how this sister is finna run this thing, right? So it's my duty to bring her to life, right? Because I know when I was on the other side of it, and I was like, oh Lord, this is this, and I was maybe about 60 pounds from what I knew was my goal weight, and I was feeling disgusted and busted, but I was, what am I doing to change that? And the closer and closer I get to this image, honey, of this lady that's in my head, I'm telling you, honey, that's why I'm almost there. That's why I know, honey, we about to rock this thing out. Because the closer you get to the image that you have in your head, your divine destiny is connected to that image that God has given you. It's connected to it. So you guys, God bless you. Let's bring it to life. Let's get to where we need to get and where God is trying to take us. Let's be in position, okay? God bless you all. Love you.